Hello everyone, welcome to another J. Robinson Art Peel-Off Paint and Peel project. Today we're going to be painting something for Valentine's Day, but it doesn't necessarily have to only be for Valentine's Day because hearts are about love, caring, and sharing. So you can give this gift, this painting to anyone at any time. This is probably going to be one of the easiest paintings we've ever done. So without all of that, let's just get started. Let's talk about all of the supplies that we have laid out. First, we have our plastic apron. We have our spatula to remove our peel off, our paper towel. Off camera, we have a cup with some water in it. We have white, sienna, black, and red. And let's take a look at the project for today. See? Simple. We call it heart flowers. It's just a bunch of hearts in flower shape, little abstract. Very simple, very easy. This happens to be a 9 by 12 panel. We'll be working on an 8 by 10. This is what we're working on today. Here's our 8 by 10 panel with our peels affixed on them. Now, the really great thing about a peel-off project, you can buy our kits or you can buy our individual packets, and you can place these items on anything you want. So you could take these hearts and easily put them on a different size canvas. You could put them on a wooden board. You could put them on a flower pot. You could put them anywhere and paint them just as we're painting right now. We also provide you with some brushes. In this case, we give you a foam brush for the background, a flat brush which should also be used for the background, and a pointed brush to help you create the lines and the decorations around your hearts. We're not going to be using these today. I like to use my own little beat up brushes because I'm more comfortable with them and they help me expedite the video. So without further ado, let's move our paint tubes and let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of white and I'm just going to paint over the whole canvas. Now, a lot of you that have painted with me before, you kind of understand why I do this. But for those of you who this is your first time, let me explain. When I put the white on the canvas first, it's because I know I'm going to be putting in a background. But I don't want the background color to be very, very strong. So by adding the white first, it helps me to take a look at how much paint I want on the canvas for the coloration that I want to have. In this case, I don't want it to be a very dark sienna, which is what the background is going to be, but I want it to be light. So by adding the white, I automatically get a blend. Here, take a little tiny bit of sienna and start the process. Now I'm gauging as I'm painting to see just how much paint I want to have on my canvas. And see, this basically is the tone that I want the background to be. So I'm not going with straight sienna in the background. I'm going with a mixture of white and sienna. And by having the white on first, it automatically cuts the color nice and easy for me. So I could just simply apply it, blend it in, and keep moving. You can call it an art trick if you like. I just think it's just my way of approaching a project. And once you become very familiar with your way, trust me, your way is going to work just as well for you as my way works for me. Now, I don't mind the colors being a little streaky, but I do want the values to remain rather light. I want the red and the black to jump off, but I do want a background color, and this is it. Now, after I paint this, I will be letting this dry, or set up as I call it, and then we're going to come back and add our darker colors. Then we're going to paint each and every one of our hearts, and this painting will be done. So you see, now I'm just going to take a quick look. Yep, this is the tone value that I want. And like I told you, I don't mind it being a little streaky. I never really like to paint anything like a wall, but this is fine for me. You could go darker if you want in the value, but I think this will be fine. So I'm going to clean off my brush, stick it in the water, tap it from side to side, which I like to call ringing the bell. Wipe my brush on the paper towel. You see, I don't crumble it up. I just take and wipe the brush off. Gives me a longer use. And now I'm just going to let this sit here while I let this dry. And then I'm going to come back and add the rest of the decorations. Okay, so believe it or not, I actually did pause the video. I didn't do anything to the canvas. I just listened to a couple of Bruce Springsteen records to give some time to pass. Dancing in the Dark's about 4 minutes. So if you listen to that for like one track and maybe a little bit of a half, you give yourself more than enough time for this particular portion of the painting to dry. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make the stems on each of the hearts. And the reason that I think that this is important is because there are a few hearts that are literally stacked on top of one another. And I want to show you how to easily just make the lines so you don't have to worry about intersecting or going through your flowers or your heart shapes once they're done. What I like to do is take my little script liner brush, stick it in the water. I just touch it to a paper towel. And then I like twist in some of this black. I'm trying to keep the brush to a point. I'm going to start with some of the harder ones first so that the easier ones will be so much easier. Let's go with these two right here. Now I'm going to take and put my pinky on the canvas. I'm just going to go right to the tip of the heart and I'm just going to drag the brush straight down. By having a little bit of liquid on the brush and keeping it to a point, it was nice and fluid. It started to get a little open down here towards the bottom, so I'm just going to go right back here and just darken that right there. There's my first one. Now if you notice, this heart is right above it, but it goes through. So why don't we just take this and literally go right over the heart, so this way you can see that the lines aren't going to intersect with one another. And by having the peel on it, you get to do this now, where if you had to do this from scratch, you wouldn't be able to do this. Which is, again, another plug for Peiloff. So why don't we start here? Now, these two are going to seem a little bit close. So why don't we start with the one way up high? So let's just go right to the tip and just drag the brush as best as you can. Best as you can. Don't push the brush down. Just let it kind of glide. Almost like you're skating on ice. Now that one's going to be close, but that's okay. That's okay. There. And now we're going to do this one. I'm going to purposely go off to the right just a little bit so that I can show you how you can fake this there to look like that. Now this other one isn't going to be anywhere near it. So let's just go to the tip of it. Drag the brush straight down. And anytime you feel your hand teetering, just stop. And then just come back and just glide on down. So now we have what I would consider are the harder ones. So now we can feel free to just take the brush, load it up. Let's just go in and add everybody. And you see, by going right over the Peiloff, you still get to see where your line is to know that you're in a good place. Just drag that right on down. Thicken this part right here a little bit. And see, all I do is twirl the brush into the black. And you notice I only loaded the brush the one time. I didn't saturate it with water, but it's enough. If I see the paint is drying too much, I would just tap it into the water, touch it to the paper towel, and keep going. This is really cool. Look at this. I'm going to come back to that one. I want to do this one first. It's going to come straight down. Told you, this one is easy. This one is really, really easy. I'm going to show you another trick that some of you might want to consider. You don't have to do it this way, but I'm going to give you an option. There. Come down. All of my hearts have stems. Now, there is a design around each heart. If I were you, I would continue to use this pointed brush. See if we can't start over here first. And what I would do is painting a little bit on the heart itself and on the canvas. I would just paint around the hearts. a little bit on the heart and a little bit on the canvas. I would just paint, slowly take my time and paint around each heart. Because if nothing more, if it doesn't give you the full outline, you'll have a really, 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 really good idea of where that goes. Let's just straighten that out. And now I'm just going to do the same for each heart. Just going to take the brush, touch a little bit on the actual peel off and right on the canvas just to create the outline. See? Just going to go around. Now, you have the ability to flip your canvas so you don't have to leave it straight like I have to leave mine for purposes of the video. So it'll be a lot easier when you have total control of your canvas to be able to turn it around and angle yourself better. But I'm going to try to make it work because I just want you to see just how easy it is to just add the outline before you even paint the insides. A few more left. I'm just going to come up here and just quickly put these in. I'm just repeating the same process. I could stop it, come back and it's finished, but I just want you to see how each one is done because it's the same repetitive step. And again, even if you don't get it fully around the heart like you want it, this is going to help you, because if you're going to make a mistake here, at least you're not going inside the heart at all. And of course, we're going to let this dry and then come back and finish up our painting. But for right now, I'm just going to try and get all of these shapes around the heart. And it's okay if it touches here. You know, it's okay. Like, what do I mean by that? Like, you see right here, these two are going to kind of intersect, but it's all right because it's just the outline. Some of it's going to be thick, some of it's going to be thin, and I think that's going to help make it look even more interesting. We only have 2 more to go. Then we're going to take another 5-minute setup or drying break. Then we're going to come back and finish off this painting and call it a day. Told you it was easy. The one thing I like about peel off, it helps build your confidence, especially if you're a little uncertain about your own abilities. I mean, we all have it. Sometimes it just takes a little encouragement to bring it out of us. And peel off is one of those ways. If I were instructing you in a classroom setting, I would try to build your confidence almost the same way. You know, because all you're really doing is you're giving yourself an opportunity to learn. And once you've gotten comfortable, you can take peel-offs to a whole nother level. You could take these hearts and make them a variety of different colors. You can make your background a lot of different colors. You can paint a sky and some grass stuff if you wanted to. I mean, we're just using one option. With peel-off, you have hundreds. It's like whatever your imagination will allow. Now there, they almost look completed. You see, you have your stems, you have your outlines, and then you can look and see where they might be a little thin. Thicken up a couple. You can look and see where your stems are too thin. You want to fatten those up a little bit. You can do that now. You know, you want to do all the little checks and balances before you peel and go to the next part. Okay, at this point, we're just going to allow this to dry. I'm going to give it another dancing in the dark 4 minutes or so. Come back and take the peels off, and then we're going to paint our hearts. I'm going to clean off my brush. Ring the bell. Just going to spin the brush. Like I said, see how I keep my paper towel intact? We'll leave this here, and we'll be right back. Okay, now that we've let ourselves allow this to set up, and we gave it a few minutes, let's see if we can continue with our beautiful painting and finish this up. Now what we have here is our plastic spatula. I'm going to grip it close to the neck, and I'm going to use any one of these four corners to include the round one. If I had to, I'd use the back, because all I'm looking to do is stick this somewhere to just start to peel. See, once I start to peel off, all I want to do is lift. And you see how we have our ring? And right here, you could always add some more later on. But right now, we're just going to take and just go in and very comfortably and easily find a little bit of a peel and just start peeling off these hearts. So I'm just grabbing anywhere that I can. Lift. See? You see how we already have at least where some of them are going to come out really nice. Others, maybe it's a little different, but it's okay because the idea is there, and that's what we're after. That's what we're after. Look at that. Look how beautiful and easy that is. Look at that. Paint and peel. Peel off. What a wonderful way to paint. What a wonderful way to be creative. Just push around a few colors and be creative. Okay, now what we're going to do, we have our hearts. We have our stems. We even have our black outlines. Now I'm going to take this little flat brush, and I'm just going to pull some red, and I'm going to very carefully start painting in the inside. I like to go near the edge because I don't want to really paint over the black if I don't have to. It's a beautiful red. Oh my gosh, this is such a lovely red. I'm just going to go like so. And the reason I like to line up first, because once you get a basic line going, you can just fill in the inside. See that? You don't have to worry about nothing. Now, normally I would do my line all the way around. But again, this is a video and I need you to understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Because as I continue to go, I'll be less talking about what I'm doing and maybe share some other little tidbits with you. You see, I'm still pulling the paint in a direction so that I don't leave brush strokes or open spots, because I want it to look kind of smooth when it's done. Now, another cool thing about painting with acrylics, I don't know if many of you have ever painted with watercolors, but you can build on top. So even though you've painted this red, you can let it dry and come back and paint red over this again, and all that's going to do is make the red even stronger, darker, deeper, richer, purer, whatever word you want to describe, that it's just going to enhance the color. So even though it's red, if you put another coat, it'll just get much, much darker. And it could look really, really interesting. I'm going to try to just do one coat. Because as I say, I'm just here to teach. I'm just here to help. I'm here to introduce you to a fun, exciting, easy, and creative way to paint. You're not limited to anything I'm doing here. You can take your hearts and give them 2 or 3 colors. If you wanted to spend the time adding other colors to your palette, you can make this into a rainbow of colors. You know, for anybody that wants to represent a rainbow of color, this would be a beautiful project to just make each heart a rainbow of colors, where you would just make one outline of a color here like this, come back and add another outline till you get to your center. And it would be beautifully, beautifully rendered and very, very positively represented. You could take, like I said, and just add to your palette a bunch of different colors and make each heart a different color. You can make your background a rainbow of colors or different colors. You can splatter, you can spill, you can drip. I'm just giving you one way of doing this. And as I said with Peiloff, if you don't want to buy a pack or a kit, you can buy our single packs. You can buy just hearts. You can buy musicians. You can buy animals, birds, trees, houses. You can buy packs that contain different things and put them together your own way. make your own painting. So peel off is a really, really, really novel and wonderful way to explore your creativity and allow yourself to learn as you go. And then you can add different elements of your own, learn how things are made and done. You can put little accents on each one of these if you want to. We're not today, because again, I'm sticking with the basic plan. Sometimes I hate to. Sometimes I just want to go all out. Sometimes I just want to be as creative as creative as I'm telling you you can be, because I am an artist and I love experimenting. I love seeing what would happen, but I can't today because I'm instructing with you today. Off camera, trust me, I've done everything that I've said to you. Maybe one day I'll introduce you to some of those packet kits so you can see exactly what they look like. I would look out for that because it's definitely in our product and development stage, and we're still marketing and packaging and, you know, branding and getting it all together. But once it's totally there, you're going to see exactly what I mean about taking peel off to a whole new level. You're going to be using these on your walls, on your furniture, on mirrors. I mean, there's so many wonderful glass vases. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's going to be great. But again, you can always just resort to a canvas and do it this way. Now, this may seem like it's taken a long time, but it's just me not trying to cheat you out of seeing how things are done. And I'm going to paint each and every one. I could always zoom, but I don't want to. I just want to paint them as we go along and finish as we would. It doesn't take a long time. We spent more time allowing the different sections to dry than actually painting. And this is just repetitious because every heart for this particular project is being painted the exact same way. So there's nothing really different that I need to be telling you. Let me see if I could quickly show you how to clean that up. Now I'm going to come back later, put some beige on that. I'm going to show you how to fix that. I like that I did that. I'm sorry that I did that, but I'm going to show you how to fix it because we have time. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to fix that. Just in case you did that. I didn't mean to do that, but sometimes, like I said, here's my chance to be creative. So let's just see what happens. But I know you didn't do that, so we're just going to keep going. We're just going to keep painting. We're going to get to the end of this project, and then I'll come back and have a little fun with myself, you know. Because am I trying to hurry and talk, I made a oops. But oopses is good. It teaches you things. Teaches you to be more careful, be more focused. It's a beautiful thing about art. 2 more to go. 2 more of these babies to go. But you see the painting is already there. And again, you could always go back around your lines if you wanted to and enrich these, make them thicker if you decided to. You know, if you find that they're not thick enough for you, or if you find that you painted over them and the red muted the black and you just want to bring it back up, there's nothing to correcting, adding, adjusting your paintings. That's another beautiful thing. And we always try to give you a lot more paint than you're going to use. So I definitely strongly recommend you don't squeeze out all of your paint from the tubes we provide. You could always add, but it's hard to put the paint back in the bottle, as they say. The genie back in the bottle. 1 more to go. And I'm going to have a little fun here. See if I can't patch that. That's all I'm going to be able to do is just patch it a little bit. See if we can't get this. Now, for purposes of this video, we're actually done after this heart. So even with that little oops, you do understand the elements of what we were trying to create here. So you can sign your painting, not sign it on the back, put your initials on the front if you want. But this would be the completed painting. And that would be it. And like I said, you could always go back around and add things. But now let me see what I could do here. I'm going to clean off my brush. Get the color out. And I'm going to take a little bit of white. I'm just going to touch this up right here a little bit like that. See, just to take the red out a little bit. See, like that. Clean this off. I'm just patching. I'm just going to patch it. It's going to add a little patch. Take a little bit of this sienna color that we started with. Introduce some of that over here. And of course, I technically should let this dry completely. But again, I'm going to call this painting finished. You see the oops that I made. The way that I would fix it is to touch it with the white and come back and touch it with the sienna and just match the color to the best of my ability to fix it. But for purposes of our video, and I don't want to go over time, we're done. Well, thank you for allowing me to come and paint with you. I hope you had fun. We pushed around a few colors and we got creative. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see some of the new videos that are coming out. There'll be a lot coming out this for February for Valentine's Day, but there'll be a lot coming out in general. So until next time, have a good time, have some fun, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.